I wish one of your guys had children so I could kick them in their fucking head or stomp on their testicles so you could feel my pain, because that's the pain I have, waking up every day.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is Morning Somewhere for March 8th, 2024. My name is Bernie Burns. Sitting right over there is your international woman on International Women's Day. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
Want to get pegged?
What? Where'd that come from?
Specifically, it came from Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of my favorite parts of Deadpool is just him and his girlfriend and like the weird shit they get up to, especially on International Women's Day.
Oh, wait. Okay, the gorgeous woman who played his wife.
Yeah, Morena Baccarin.
Okay,
I actually don't
you.
know. I'm actually terrible at pronouncing her last name, even though I've seen her in a billion things. And
I just found out.
Biggest crush on her. She's gorgeous.
I just found out she dated someone early in their careers, and I was like, what? Because she also played a part in Firefly.
Yes, she was very
concubine.
well known for playing the part of Inara in Firefly. She was absolutely mesmerizing in that role. She's mesmerizing in Deadpool as well. She's mesmerizing in everything.
She's the person who makes me believe that beauty is like a formula. You know, sometimes they'll put that overlay on people's faces to show symmetry and stuff. She's objectively, to me, of course, beauty's subjective, but she seems like she's just beautiful. Like, I don't think there's any arguments against it. That she's a beautiful looking person. I thought you, by the way, the pegging thing, I have been listening to Mike Tyson quotes and playing them for Ashley from press conferences. You know, there's some Mike Tyson stuff in the news. We have to well, let's not go throwing around words or insults. I played for her.
Not where he can reach me.
There's Mike Tyson news in the news. We'll get to that in a second, but we have follow-up Friday first. First of all, I want to say shout out to Matt Nelson. Thank you for keeping this podcast episode ad-free for the rest of our listeners. Sponsorship does not equal endorsement. All right, we have follow-up Friday today, Ash.
I've got one quick follow-up. That is that earlier in the week, we talked a little bit about Tron Ares. They released the first look, and I made a throwaway comment that I'd heard of Tron Ascension, and I thought that it had been renamed to Tron Ares. That's actually not the case. Tron Ascension was a different movie project, which might also be contributing to the whole is Cillian Murphy in it or not confusion, because that was a scrapped sequel to Tron Legacy, and Tron Ares seems to be a different story completely. So it's a different project. Just that's where the confusion came from for me. So I wanted to correct myself.
Yeah, that also caused some confusion talking about Cillian Murphy because his role in Tron Legacy was uncredited, even though he was in it as Dillinger. I think if memory serves, it was Dillinger's son. We, in grand tradition of Follow Up Friday, we also have to get something wrong in
the follow-up. Otherwise, what would we have to do?
Can you please look up her boyfriend? I'm just going to kill me until I find out who that was that she dated.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Okay, I'm going to get you this goss.
I don't know why. So also in Tron Legacy, it wasn't Jared Leto's ass. It was, turns out it was Michael Cera. So
you know what? I'm on board.
Get everything wrong. Speaking of getting stuff wrong, I mispronounced the person, the Air National Guardsman who leaked national secrets on Discord. I believe I pronounced their last name as Texeria, which is like a portmanteau of Texas and cafeteria, I think. And apparently the correct way to pronounce that is Teixeira.
Well, we've all learned something today then.
Teixeira. Don't ask me to spell it. Don't ask me to use it in a sentence either.
Teixeira.
In the spelling bees, they have just the bell when they're wrong. Like, that's it. There's no like buzzer. It's just ding, and that's it.
Ding, you're bad at spelling. Get out.
And it's always like the kid just goes and sits down. Were you ever in a spelling bee as a kid?
I was never in a spelling bee as a kid. I think I would have been pretty decent at it.
To me, that's like one of like the oldest school things, like from the Victorian era, that has somehow survived to this age. Like putting kids on a stage and just having them spell stuff. You know?
What you need to do is you just need to get into the showmanship of the thing. You need to add like a light show and a dramatic soundtrack, some cool like downlight effects. Basically, I'm just talking about trying to get into a reality show.
I say
fireworks.
I say that, but Ashley grew up so country that one year at school she won a cow.
I did. That's very true. We won a cow at a Halloween raffle.
You wanted a raffle? I mean, what were you going for? Like the NES?
You go to the school. It took place in my elementary school gym, and there were all the little booths and everything for Halloween, and just buy a raffle ticket, support the thing, and we accidentally won a cow. It was a baby cow. I should
accidental cow. How do you get it home? Did you just happen to bring a trailer? We might need to bring home a cow.
I think the farmer who donated it dropped it off. We had to build a shed. We had no business having a cow, so we had to build like a little shed for it and bottle feed it.
We are, by the way, this podcast is about to take a major shift. Just so you know, we've been in winter months so far, which is the biggest change for us for moving to Scotland. Is not the weather; it's the light. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but in the winter, it gets dark here. We're so far north. We're up by Iceland. We're up here, and we get in the height of winter, we get about 4 hours of sunlight a day. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So the shortest day, that's December 21st or December 22nd, I think, gets sunrise is at 9 a.m. That's when the sun crests the horizon, and then it goes down again at 3, maybe 3:30.
So a full sunlight, you get like 4 hours, yeah.
And the thing is, it's not full sunlight.
No.
There's a period of winter where the sun, it comes up, it crests the horizon, and immediately starts to go down. So you never get that full overhead noon bright sun. For a lot of the winter, it's just never all the way daytime.
So I'll put in the link dump, I'll put my image of the sun's trajectory from my iPhone on the shortest day of the year. It's so funny. It's like the sun just kind of goes over the horizon and comes up. But we're about to go through a major shift because we're heading into spring. Everything's blooming around here. It's an amazing time of year. It's gorgeous outside. And we're about to hit my favorite part of the year, which is Ashley.
Daffodils?
Ashley. Lambing season.
Oh, God, the lambs. Oh, the lambs.
So Scotland, everywhere we go, looks like a Windows wallpaper in the spring. It's just gorgeous.
Aggressively green.
Aggressively. It almost hurts your eyes. It's so green. And there's you'll see so many photos I'll be posting and videos of bouncing lambs from March to April of just on the hillside. Just boom, 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 boom. Like little lambs bouncing everywhere. It's a tremendous time of year. Also, all of our friends this time of year are completely exhausted because lambing season is one of the most labor-intensive things that you will see people working in livestock do because they're just helping sheep birth lambs all day long, all night long. It's constant.
And the sheep, they don't tell you
nope
when it's going to happen. Just you look over and there's a sheep who's having a lamb.
All right, and this is from Mendoza S24. That sounds like a rank of some kind on the Morning Somewhere subreddit. They write, as a member of the Air National Guard, I just needed to chime in and say, Bernie saying, how would an Air... let me do an impression of myself here. Bernie saying, how would an Air National Guardsman know these things?
That's a good impression,
Thanks.
actually.
I've been working on my impression of myself. It's a prime example of no one knowing about the Air National Guard. We are just like the Air Force, except we don't have to move around, and many of us are part-time. Depending on what your AFSC job is, we will know many, many things that are not released to the public as part of our day-to-day jobs. Okay, so yeah, so apologies to the Air National Guard. I did not want to disparage or gloss over the duties of anyone who is serving the U.S. So my apologies for that. And also I look forward to future comments and messages from people in the Air Force going, no, they're not, which I'm sure they will. Sure they will.
Well, with Follow-Up Friday concluded, let's talk about what is happening. We're a couple of days behind this week for some unknown reason, has had the regular rhythm sort of disrupted. So we're a little bit behind on a couple of topics that have been happening this week. Bernie, I don't know if you've been following the Elon Musk versus OpenAI little fisticuffs that have been going on this week. So Elon Musk filed a lawsuit against OpenAI, claiming that they were violating their vision by establishing a for-profit arm. In response, OpenAI published emails that Elon Musk had sent them suggesting that they raise billions. And they made a fun statement, and I will quote, "We're sad that it's come to this with someone whom we've deeply admired, someone who inspired us to aim higher, then told us we would fail, started a competitor, and then sued us when we started making meaningful progress towards OpenAI's mission without him." So basically, Elon Musk is saying that Microsoft more or less bought OpenAI, which Microsoft did invest $10 billion. So they basically invested to the level that OpenAI is an unofficial subsidiary. I don't know that he's necessarily wrong in that case. $10 billion is that's a lot of money.
It's an interesting point. Many of us are not a fan of Elon Musk. I saw a clip the other day where I first started talking about Elon Musk about 10 years ago, and I referred to him as Ellen because I had just never heard his name said out loud before. Elon Musk. And it was oddly enough, it was an old RT podcast episode where he was warning about AI. I think the conversation is important. I hate that he's one of the people having it. And I also am not a big fan of the people in charge of OpenAI having it either. Don't forget, these were the people that had this weird, crazy drama earlier this year where they fired their CEO, then unfired him. Microsoft not only invested in them and help make all their research possible, they also saved their ass when they couldn't get their shit together.
They did. So it more or less, in my opinion, saved OpenAI that Microsoft immediately hired.
That's the text. That's not even the subtext.
Yeah, hired Sam Altman basically the day the board announced that they were letting him go so that they could keep him secure.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what OpenAI would look like now if Google had signed Sam Altman?
Yep.
It would be a very, very different picture. So Microsoft saved their $10 billion investment by securing him and then releasing him back to the custody of OpenAI when they said, "Oh, actually, we messed up."
And it's not abnormal to me. These things happen and stuff gets moved around. What makes it concerning is what this company is doing and the incredible responsibility and mantle that they have. You want these to be really reasonable people who are thinking through every possible scenario. And it seems like they can't even get their internal corporate drama together. What they're doing is revolutionary, is going to impact all of our lives. I want these people to be the best of the best of the best on all levels.
Right. You want to feel like they know what they're doing.
I want them to be adults, right? At the very least. That's like gets you in the fucking door. That's your cover charge. Be adults. They're sitting here sniping at each other on social media. Fuck off.
So this is ongoing. It's not the last we're going to be hearing of this particular conflict, I'm sure. But what do you do? What are you looking up over there?
I'm fascinated by this. I'm actually sitting over here, by the way, looking up who I can't remember her name, who she dated. I don't know why I keep coming back to this, but I was so proud of this person for punching over their weight. Yeah. So in the news. It has been announced that Mike Tyson is going to fight Jake Paul. Mike Tyson is 57 years old. I don't know what's going on with Jake Paul, but he has become like boxer's retirement plan. And it's an amazing place to be in.
They're all just lining up to beat the shit out of him.
The boxing world was always weird. And it got weirder, I think, after UFC came along and people were far more interested in mixed martial arts, and boxing, two guys standing up in a ring just slugging each other in the head was less interesting. It's always been odd. It's always been fringe. It's always been kind of seedy, to be honest with you. And now it's just like, it's really bizarre. It's almost like boxing today seems, to me at least, to be more akin to like WWE. You know, it's just big events, promotional events. Jake Paul has been, I got to give the guy credit. You know, he's a guy who I wasn't a big fan of him when he was I think started on Vine.
A YouTuber.
I think he was a Vine guy.
Were they Viners?
Well, his brother was.
I remember they had the big mansion and neighbors complained, and his brother has had a raft of issues and then he went into doing all these fights. And he's done quite a few now. He's done a lot of fights.
He fought Floyd Mayweather, I think to a draw is what they fought. And even Floyd Mayweather at the end was like, yeah, the guy's a good fighter. I won't take it away from him that he's not a good fighter. Like, there's nothing to indicate that he's not a good boxer. He just keeps lining up these incredible promotional matches, right? And I know people want to take it away from him because he's like this guy. And he just seemed to have like this like just promotional career in boxing. But even the people who box against him and definitely other promoters talk about how amazing he is. That being said, he's about to fucking die. As kids, we would ask each other, would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for $1 million? And really what that question is,
would you die for $1 million?
Do you want to die for $1 million? Mike Tyson's a killer. Okay. He's an absolute killer. I was playing for Ashley before the podcast. I literally can't play most of the sound clips from Mike Tyson on here.
They're something. This guy is unhinged, but I'm not going to say that where he can reach me.
The clip I played at the beginning is lighthearted, where he talks about stomping on kids' testicles, right? At one point, he threatens to eat Lennox Lewis's children. There's a press conference
As one does.
Is fucking amazing, where somebody else from the back, they yell, "Put him in a straitjacket." We'll link it in the linked up so you can go watch it himself. Mike Tyson absolutely loses it during a public press conference. He's probably best known for being an incredible boxer, but at the end of his career, he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear in the ring while wearing a boxing mouth guard. Think about how hard it would be to do that. I really feel for Jake Paul. I think he's going to fucking die. I think we're going to see Logan Paul burying his brother in a Prime-themed coffin.
Jesus. Wow.
They would absolutely do that.
They would. They would do that.
I would not set foot in the ring with Mike Tyson at any age. He's a fighter. He's a pure fighter. And you go watch the interview with him and like Joe Rogan. Even if you don't listen to Joe Rogan, go watch the interview with Mike Tyson and look at the amount of fear in Joe Rogan's eyes as he's talking to Mike Tyson, as Mike Tyson describes himself. Mike Tyson knows himself better than just about anyone else. I cannot believe the way he talks about himself, and he's going to step back in the ring. He talks about on Joe Rogan's podcast, he talks about not wanting to train because he doesn't want to become the person that he becomes, that he doesn't have control over it.
He's a berserker.
Ashley, I really think if there's rules, like if they have this like friendly agreement or whatever, I don't know that Mike Tyson, once he sets foot in the ring, is going to follow that like friendly agreement or whatever for a fun promotional event.
Right. He goes in the ring, the gloves come off, except that they don't.
Or he might. Who knows? I think it could be a dark day, a very dark day. I'm genuinely worried. Mike Tyson had a promoter in the 80s, guy named Don King, big boxing promoter. Don King was convicted of shooting a guy in the back who he claimed was robbing one of his gambling enterprises. Then later was tried for stomping one of his employees to death. That's the promoter. That's the people that are in this circle. Oh my God. And Jake Paul's like looking for likes, Instagram. It's going to be crazy. I will absolutely tune into that. I absolutely will. I don't know what boxing has become, but this is something I will tune in and watch.
Well, just to end on a fun...
He's going to die. He's going to die.
On a really positive note, the trailer is out for the Fallout TV show. The show is coming out next month on Amazon Prime. And holy shit.
Oh, man.
Holy shit. I watched the trailer this morning. I'm a little bit behind the curve. And, man, I am all in on this show. I think this is going to be another The Last of Us. I think this is going to cement video game adaptations as the new cool kid on the block.
I paid this trailer, the new one that came out, was it yesterday or Wednesday? I paid it the highest compliment I could pay any trailer, which is I watched probably about 10 seconds of it and just turned it off and said, nope, I love this already. I don't want to see anything else in the trailer. I want to save it for the show. Like, I'm completely sold just on like the first 6 images I saw from it.
Yeah. So the show is being done by Jonathan Nolan, You will know him from Westworld. And while that series did waver a bit in the middle, he's also known for another show called Person of Interest, which had, in my opinion, one of TV's best narrative transformations. It went from a sort of crime of the week drama to a really intense look at, and this is appropriate for our talk today, AI and benevolent AI versus essentially authoritarian AI, and wrapped that up in a really, really satisfying way. So I think he's got the chops to do it. Of course, Bethesda and Todd Howard are involved. The visuals in this trailer are mind-blowing. It looks so utterly Fallout. I cannot wait. I'm really excited for the whole cast. Walton Goggin looks absolutely insane. I don't know. I'm excited. The trailer has got me full hype, so I'm just sort of just going a bit nuts right now. It looks like they're doing a Netflix sort of approach where they're releasing, it sounded to me like they're releasing all the episodes at once when it hits in April. If that's the case, you won't see me for a couple of days.
Glenn Howerton.
What?
That's who she dated.
She dated Glenn Howerton?
She was in the unaired pilot for Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I watched the other day, and I was like, oh, why wasn't she in the main show?
I'm so impressed you managed to bring that thread home by the end of the podcast.
I finally came up with it. I got it. I was itching in the back of my head the whole time. So there we go. Got it. All right. Well, that does it for us today, March 8th, 2024. We will be back to talk to you on Monday. We hope you'll be here as well.
Bye, everybody.